had it not been a championship race. Looks like trouble. Leads to the second, clear of Dr. Lunt. Simply dashing on the outside. Go Ballistic and Majadou, the inner and Double Thriller held up as they head towards the water. Looks like trouble. Over safely returning to the scene of his greatest triumph so far, the Royal and Sun Alliance chase at the festival last March. Now an open ditch. Dr. Lunt, an exuberant jump in second place. Go Ballistic on the inside, then Simply Dashing. Majadou and Double Thriller both held up. On to the next. Looks like trouble really kicked into that fence, jumped it in tremendous fashion. Dr. Lunt rather fiddled his way over as they climb on the far side towards a big open ditch now. Number 6. Looks like trouble with a 3 or 4 length lead over the white-faced Dr. Lunt in second. And then Go Ballistic on the inside, Simply Dashing out wide. Majadou and Double Thriller in the yellow colours at the back of the field. Still against the collar as we check the SPs. Go Ballistic, the 13-8 favourite. Looks like trouble, the leader. Jumped boldly there again, 100 to 30. Rather weak in the betting, drifted out from 5 to 2 to 100 to 30. So the market signal's not good for the leader, but so far so good. Now a tricky fence, taken slightly downhill. Bit of a drop on the landing side. Looks like trouble. Clear of Simply Dashing on the outside of Dr. Lunt. And then Go Ballistic and Double Thriller and Majadou, presumably being held up to blast home the over this trip. It's a step up in distance for the Martin Pipe runner as they run downhill towards the next plain one. Again, fine jump by the leader. Looks like trouble. Looks a different horse today so far. From Dr. Lunt in second, Simply Dashing on the outside. Go Ballistic, last year's Gold Cup runner-up, in 4th place, followed by the Gold Cup 4th Double Thriller, and finally Majadou, winner of the Marv Mayer Fleet Challenge Cup at the Cheltenham Festival last March. A lot of talent in this race as they run down towards the next plain fence, and looks like trouble. Trainer Noel Chance, Norman Williamson the jockey, and again gave the fence plenty of air. Simply Dashing on the outside of Dr. Lunt with the big white face. Go Ballistic, then Double Thriller and Majadou. This will be their last fence after another circuit, and looks like trouble. Dr. Lunt, you may have seen, didn't get very high again in 3rd place. I suppose of the half dozen, his jumping has been the least impressive so far as they've completed a circuit. John, looks like trouble, the leader, so I was saying he looks in much better shape today than he did at Kempton at this stage. Yeah,
I agree with you, and I just wonder whether perhaps he sulked at Kempton being taken on. Looks happy today, he's jumping well. Interesting how well Double Thriller's travelling. Different tactics this afternoon, they've just held him up, and he looks much happier that way, but a really good racing prospect.
Well, we'll really find out what looks like trouble is made of today. He seems to be having a good day. Go Ballistic sent a bit of birch flying there in 4th or 5th place. Majadou creeping up. Reminders for Double Thriller at the back of the field. Not much response at the moment as they head to the water jump. Looks like trouble, beginning to stretch these a little bit. Second is Simply Dashing. Dr. Lunt on the inside, coming on and off the bridle. Then Go Ballistic and Majadou and Double Thriller. Big open ditch now. Looks like trouble, put himself right at it. Followed by Simply Dashing. Dr. Lunt looks in a bit of trouble. Majadou going well on the inside. Go Ballistic being pushed along by Richard Johnson. Another plain fence, and Simply Dashing made a bit of a mess of that in 2nd place as once again they climb on the far side, and Double Thriller looks a light of former days. He's completely tailed off, looks like being pulled up. So 5 left in it going to the final open ditch. Looks like trouble. A good, just nodded on landing. Almost too good a jump. Simply Dashing in second. Then Dr. Lunt, Majadou and Go Ballistic as they race to the next plain fence. Double Thriller has been pulled up. This next plain fence then looks like trouble, popped over about a length ahead of Simply Dashing, and the others now are gradually being dropped, it seems. Majadou well back in 3rd, then another gap to Dr. Lunt, and Go Ballistic running very disappointingly. He's a remote 5th. as they turn left-handed towards this downhill fence, and looks like Trouble has made it all so far, jumping very boldly, put himself right again, Simply Dashing in second place under strong pressure from Russ Garrity as they start the run downhill. Majadou is third, then Dr. Lunt and Go Ballistic. Well, 3 fences left to go. At the moment, this is a great performance by the leader, Looks Like Trouble, coming to 3 out, comes to it, jumps over soundly, and he's got away now from Simply Dashing. Majadou is running on a little bit into third and challenging Simply Dashing for second. Then Dr. Lunt and Go Ballistic, but approaching the final turn, and last year's top staying novice Looks Like Trouble has got them well cooked, swinging into the straight with 2 fences left to jump, and then the Cheltenham Hill running down towards the second last then, and there's a gap of at least 25 lengths now to Majadou in second place. So Looks Like Trouble at 2 out, jumps it just about okay, just skip through the top of it, a long gap to Majadou, then Go Ballistic, who's finally running on into third. But let's look at the leader going to the final fence then. Looks Like Trouble. Oh, he had a little bit of a guess at it, just lost concentration. It was his only serious mistake. Then a long gap back to Go Ballistic in second, Majadou in third, Dr. Lunt in fourth, and on the run for the line, Looks Like Trouble has demolished these in the Pillar Property Chase, and this is a fine Gold Cup trial by Looks Like Trouble, the easy winner, a long way clear of last year's Gold Cup runner-up, Go Ballistic, who stayed on all too late. Majadou back in third, then Dr. Lunt, and Simply Dashing was pulled up before the final fence, having traded punches with Looks Like Trouble, this horse, for such a long way, and in the end had to submit to this horse's greater jumping, greater staying prowess. This was a tremendous performance. The market signals weren't good for Looks Like Trouble. He clearly had a big off day at Kempton in the King George Chase on Boxing Day, but he's